Hi, Facebook. I'm Angie, and this is
Harold Jones, John Scott.
today on Freestyle Friday. We thought maybe we would, again, like always, wing it, but we were having a discussion, kind of talking about fraud. The stuff that's kind of been going on in the real estate world a little bit is fraudulent properties that are for sale. It seems like they've gone a little bit of some control. What is your take on that, Harold?
People that are trying to sell properties that they actually don't own. And it's usually vacant properties. What I mean by vacant is either land or a home that is sitting vacant. It's something to be aware of. It does happen once in a while.
I think they've gone, like title and escrow. They've been pretty good at trying to catch it up front. It seemed at first, it was like a few months ago, it was still new, so some had gotten through. Where I think one of the scenarios was, I think they got the property, and it wasn't theirs. The buyer was pretty much SOL because I think it was the seller came like, this is my property, this is mine,
and I'm not selling it, right?
yeah, and it just kind of went undetected. So, and it's hard, because most of them, like flags, I guess red flags would be no face to face, don't want to do any Zoom meetings, no IDs. They just, kind of some sob story why they have to sell quick, fast, what was some other flags? I was trying to remember some of the other flags they talked about. But now as agents, I know most agents do their due diligence, kind of, they don't want to be that agent. So, just make sure as agents you guys are doing your part in getting all the information.
The thing I'll throw into that, it is a good idea for all the parties involved to meet face to face. And then you're actually putting somebody with what they supposedly own. And it's always a giveaway, and I don't care how good they are, when somebody's trying to do something that's not on the up and up.
Correct.
It just gives you that little bit extra. You meet somebody face to face, you get a feel for what they want to do, where they're going, and it just keeps everybody on the correct road. And now that we're into the title, the escrow type of thing, the other thing that's came up in the past week is encumbered titles, or titles that are not clear. And when we find that out the day of closing, it can really create some havoc. We have to extend things out. People get upset. People want their property. People want their money. And so it's not really that hard to actually do on your own. You can go to the county, you can pull your property up, and you can see who's on title. This is also where the previous conversation comes in. That information is available. So you can see on who's on title. Siblings might be on title. A person who has passed away might still be on title. And all of this needs to be taken care of before the property can be transferred to a new buyer. And like I said, when you get down to the end of a transaction, the seller wants to get their money so they can move on, and the buyer wants, obviously, the property so they can proceed with their life, and everybody gets a little emotional at that time.
Yes.
So sometimes a little thing like who's on the title of the property is something that's fairly easy to check, and as a general rule, unless it gets really, really complicated with multiple people, it's fairly easy to get straightened out, and even if there's a little bit of legal negotiation in it, you can usually get it straightened out within a few weeks. And as a general rule, most people will understand that, and they will allow for the time to get it done and get it done correctly. But it's popped up a couple of times the past week, and things like that it should have been caught earlier, it just wasn't. And sometimes it's the simple things that get by, and we think, okay, the title's clear, we don't have an issue, and I can sell it. It doesn't hurt to check.
So yeah, so if you're on the buying side, just make sure your agent, which they're gonna do their job. So they're, just make sure everything's running smoothly, title. I mean, it's those little things you don't think about that are important. So yeah.
And the other thing is there will be a preliminary title report for the seller and the buyer's review. Yes, they are wordy. Yes, they're boring. It doesn't take that long to read through it and see if something jumps out that just doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
And usually it's fairly obvious.
Yeah, because now, it sucks that this is the world we live in of fraud. I mean, there's so many times I see on Craigslist houses that are for sale that they're putting up for rent on Craigslist. You see them, I'm like, wait, I saw that for sale, and someone's, they're trying to be fraudulent and send me money now and a deposit, and there's so many people that want it. So just always, be aware there's not.
It's the old saying. I'm old, so I have a lot of old sayings. If it's looks too good to be true,
it probably is.
It probably is.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So that's our knowledge of the day for today. Hope you guys got some good information out of this. If you have any more questions about this, you can contact Harold. Put his contact information down below. Anything?
Yes, I have one more thing. One correction. I got notified from Vinny, the bat, that I said free form Friday last week, and I stand corrected. That is wrong. It is freestyle.
Freestyle.
So I apologize for that error, and Vinny caught me on that, and Vinny catches me on everything. So I try to stay in between the rails as much as possible, and have a great weekend.
All right, bye you guys.